So we've had the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus for over 20,000 miles now. We've learned a lot about the vehicle. We learned a lot about driving it, what to do and not to do, and also what you may find issues with while having a Tesla Model 3, X, or Y. So let's go. After 20,000 miles in your Tesla vehicle, you really get to know your car very well. There's a few things that I have found that are very beneficial with the Model 3, one of those being the range. At first, I did have a lot of range anxiety when I was driving my Model 3. I used to drive it from upstate New York to Long Island to visit family, and I really had issues with trying to figure out if I was going to be able to reach my destination. But after a little bit of time, and after testing out the range, I'm pretty much satisfied with how it's performed, even in cold weather. I have a Standard Range Plus Model 3, which was purchased in late 2021. The current version has a total of 272 miles. The top speed is 140 miles and 0 to 60, 5.8 seconds. Mine is a 267 mile long range plus and a 140 mile top speed and a 5.8 seconds 0 to 60. Now, the new versions that we have currently does not include the long range version. Only the standard range, what they call now is the rear range drive, as well as the dual motor all-wheel drive performance, which is 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, a total of 315 miles, and top speed of 162 miles per hour. One thing you will notice when you first get your Tesla is when you first pick it up, you are welcome to the family. Once you purchase your Tesla, you're considered as being part of the Tesla family. So that's a cool thing to keep in mind. The customer service is pretty decent, not top notch when you go there to actually pick up your vehicle, but it is pretty nice, just like going to pick up something from the Apple Store. With this version, I had a total of 267 miles. I have lost a few miles over the first year, but as you view the app, it's a little harder to figure out how many miles you have unless your car is completely charged to the brim. I haven't had any issues with arriving to my destination. I have never gotten close to running out of battery life. You do get a little spoiled when you have your Tesla at this point of 20,000 miles because you're so used to driving it. One of the features that are very seamless is just getting into your car and not having to use a key to unlock it, because your phone connects directly to your car. So you just walk up to your car and you get into the car. You do not as well have to start the car. Your car is always on. It is pretty much a live battery. So when you get into your car, you just put it in drive and you start moving. With other cars, you do have to get used to that when you go back to, for example, in my case, I have a Prius and I have to make sure, I forgot my keys, or I forgot I have to turn off the car when I leave. Or you keep in mind when you have a Tesla, you do not have to turn off the lights. They turn off automatically. So that's something that you'll never have an issue with. Or if you leave your lights on, maybe you put them on manually, you can automatically turn them back off with the app. So those are just some features that you do get used to driving in Tesla, but you may forget about when you're going to an ICE car. Now, when it comes to other features that are well known inside of the Tesla, some things you did have to get used to as well. On my end, I did have a problem with my vehicle. There was a popping noise. I'll get to that a little later. As regards to the charging, I did purchase a wall connector, which allows me to charge my car at night while I'm sleeping. So it gives me a total of about 45 to 44 miles per hour, and I just leave it in the garage overnight. I have a full charge the next day. Always keeping the battery around 80% and not overcharging it unless I'm going on a large trip. If you do have any questions about charging your vehicles, please leave them in the comment sections below. I used to use a 120 volt charger, and the issue was with that is I went over a friend's house. I was staying over his house for multiple hours, up to 5 to 6 hours. I brought my charger with me and I tried to connect it to an extension cord. That is a no-no. When I connected it to the extension cord, my charger stopped working. So whenever you are using your charger, which is the 120 volt, do not connect it to the extension cord. That is not the proper use of it. If you did have to, if that was the only option, you could not reach your car, you would just have to use a heavy duty extension cord, but Tesla does not encourage you to do so. So I did have to buy another one as well. My cord that came with the vehicle, which they do not come with the vehicle at this time, my cord was actually bitten into by the cats that live on the property that I stay at. Now, interestingly, I went online, I found a good deal on another mobile connector. Now, the one that I got was on eBay. I don't encourage you to go that route if you do not want to, but sometimes they are out of stock on Tesla, their website under shop. But if you want to go that route and buy a used one like I did, you could do that. I decided to go that way. What I did is I sold my old version that did not function. Somebody out there wanted to repair it or use it for some project. They bought it for up to $100, and I bought a new one for about $170 or so. I'll see if I can find that purchase that I did, and I'll post the exact price in this video. But that's just a little bit about charging. Now, as regards to the regenerative braking, that's as well something that I had to get used to. And when I say had to get used to, what I'm meaning is when you go into another car, which is a gas vehicle, ICE vehicle, you may forget that you'd have that feature that is so smooth inside of the Tesla. So I haven't had any issues with my braking, haven't had any issues with turning or any other weird issues such as what we'll speak about in a little bit with the popping. That was one big issue that I did find. But usually, as you're driving your Tesla, you pretty much will only be thinking about, majority of the time, your updates, which will basically change your car month to month. As you apply these updates, I would definitely say that since I have gotten the vehicle, it is a completely different car that I've had 2 years ago. So with your updates, some of the ones that have impacted my car are the capability to be able to use your voice command in your vehicle, the security camera feature, as well as some of the new features that have come out, which are opening your car door by means of the app when it's cold outside and the doors could be frozen. That's a new feature, as well as lights. You do have the option to set your car up so that you are advised once the light turns green. That's a cool feature as well. And all of these updates continue to come, so you have to be abreast of all of the information because your vehicle is now a tech product on wheels because every month there are different nuances that could change your car drastically because of recalls or other cool updates that are even to enhance your autopilot features. Now, with the version that I do have, it only has heated seats in the front. That is an extra add-on if you wanted to add them to the back, which is a total of $300 as of now. I believe the price has going up a little bit. It used to be $200. Also, there's enhanced autopilot. I did not purchase any of the extra autopilot. I have the regular autopilot feature, which comes free with the vehicle. But if you want to enhance autopilot, you could purchase that, which is a total of $6,000 at this point. Navigation on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, summons, and smart summons are the features with that, as well as the full self-driving, which is now $15,000. You can add that by means of the app. That's navigation on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, summon, smart summon, traffic light, stop sign signal, and coming soon, auto steer on city streets. One of the coolest features that I have found in the vehicle is when you put the car in reverse, you're able to see everything so clearly behind you that I do not have to actually turn around and look behind me when I'm backing up in any parking lot, because it's one of the biggest cameras, that 17-inch screen or so that's inside of the Tesla Model 3, actually in the Y, X, and X. the newer versions, they have the new screen as well. So it's so clear to be able to follow what's going on behind you. Another nice feature is just getting into the car. It's adjustable. Set it so that it adjusts. So when you get in, it will adjust to your seat. And that's a nice feature. But one thing that could be an issue if you are a little taller is getting in and out of the vehicle. I have noted that one of my friends that was going to buy a Model 3 decided to go with the Model Y because he is just a lot taller than I am. I'm 5'8". He's about 6'2", 6'2" or 3". And he said that it would be better for him to go with the Model Y because of the height issue. And the view inside of the Model 3 actually makes you feel as if you're in a race car, more of like driving in a go-kart. I like that feel. Even when I'm driving though with other passengers, it has not been an issue with driving the car, even with that extra weight. But mind you, I do not usually drive with multiple people in the car besides my wife. So if you are driving with extra people in the car, keep in mind that will impact your range, as well as cold weather will impact your range drastically as well. But it's not a game changer. It's just something you have to prepare for. And with the way that the charging system is set up with the supercharging, that is definitely not an issue. With supercharging, you do have to keep in mind though, one thing that I learned is that you have to make sure you precondition your battery before you use the supercharging station. You may know where a supercharging station is and you may not precondition your battery. So what I suggest is make sure you, even though you know where it's located, type it into the search, and then you will be able to reach your destination and the battery will start being prepared or heated up so that it will charge not a cold battery, but a warm battery. That's one of the reasons why you want to make sure that is done. And it'll actually speed up the charging process as well. As regards to the ride quality, it has still been very smooth ride quality for this vehicle. It's not as smooth as the Model Y, but when it comes to the issue that I did have with the popping noise, I did notice a popping noise with my steering wheel. I was testing the car out on the highway, making sure I put it to the full use, driving in about maybe 60 miles per hour, going through lanes and so forth and so on. Later on, I did notice there was a popping noise. I took it to the Tesla service center and they were able to find out what it was. They helped me out with the parts that I needed because obviously the car is still under warranty. It would have cost me close to a few $1,000s to fix this, but they covered it and it was a smooth, nice transition. If you want to know more about that, I do have a video listed with that, everything that was involved with that, fixing the popping noise. If you want to get more details, you can check out that video right here. So we hope that this gave you just a little overview of what it's like to have a Tesla for 20,000 miles. I would say I would give it a score of a 9.5. The only thing that I would say that I've had any issues with of any kind would just be getting in and out of the car, but that's a very small thing. Charging has been pretty smooth, even in colder weather. You do lose a little bit of range, but that's okay. I haven't had any more range anxieties after having it for a few years, and I would say it's hands down the best vehicle I have ever had in my life. And once you go Tesla, it's hard to go back to another car, especially if it's a gas car. If I did go for another vehicle, it would probably be some type of fully electric vehicle. So we hope that gave you some updates and highlights on what to expect after 20,000 miles in a Tesla Model 3. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. This is a new channel, so feel free to hit the like button and sign our AI support. Let us know what to do.
Click the link and subscribe because we have those fire updates on What's Lock and Key.